Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Now, today, of course, is a special new moon message because that is exactly what we are in the element of, as the moon is transiting Libra, and there's also a solar eclipse, which I think has already come and gone at this point because I kind of got a little bit of a late start. I was dragging my feet on the message today. Well, not really dragging my feet. I was just moving as I felt guided to, and with good reason, as it turned out, because I had a visit from a very good friend and sister of mine that just kind of dropped in on me unexpected, but it ended up being something that I absolutely needed for today. So the delay is always with good reason, for the most part. So anyway, I'm going to probably timestamp this message. I don't have a lot to say. I know I say that often when it comes to new moons, but I'm just going to stick to the script of just the notes that I have so that I can get right to the reading. As you see, we're already landed on justice for Libra season. Now, I did not do that intentionally to forge the cards to stop here. This is just where I stopped shuffling. And a while ago, not hours ago now, actually, and ideally this is exactly the time of season that we're in. So, as I said, I'll start with the new moon message, and then I will jump into the reading, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, so today, October 14th, 2023, at around 12:55-ish p.m. Eastern Time is the new moon in Libra, and also a solar eclipse, which I believe happened much earlier than that. I'm not exactly sure at the time of the solar eclipse. Right now it's so dark and gloomy and rainy, if we could see it, we probably wouldn't see it, but I think it was only visible on the West Coast this time around. So the new moon is in the 7th house of balance, relationships, and partnerships. We're talking about making love and money. This is a prime time to renegotiate the terms and agreements in our existing relationships or commitments. It's also a good time to set positive intentions to create or attract new ones. Harmony is key when we're talking about Libra season. By the law of attraction, it must be achieved internally first to be magnetized from the outside in, which means that our first course of action with support of these elements is to take inventory of our own personal peace levels. Do you feel served to satisfaction at this time? If not, what can be done to shift that reality? It's all a balancing act with Libra energy. So what can you add or subtract for the most optimum life experience? And that goes for people, places, and things. Many of us have been working through that process for some time now, and certainly through Virgo season, where we made some very detailed observations of our quality of life through some quantitative analysis, actual real-time tangible results. Now, having come to some energetic conclusions in that regard internally is what has primed and prepared us for that potential match and partnership, one to another externally, more or less. It's cuffing season, perhaps pre-cuffing season at least, where the actions taken in the integrity of those conclusions made, i.e. what you want and what you deserve, are the actual setup, the actualization of the desired manifestation, of your desired manifestation. Again, we're talking about making love and money here. So it's important to note that one definitely has a direct effect on the other. Making a love decision outside of the alignment with your integrity that's already been established could cost you money, and vice versa. So add to all of this moon energy the intensity of the solar eclipse, which is in essence called the ring of fire. So we're talking about ring of fire energy. Now, ring of fire is likened to the burning sensation during labor, childbirth, when the baby breaks through the female anatomy into the material world. Now, I don't know much about that because I had an emergency C-section, but any women that had a natural birth know exactly what I'm talking about. So we, in that regard, are birthing, bringing to life our most supreme selves and also our most sacred partnerships, both of which have the potential to fortify a foundation for long-term fortune and also lifelong legacy. Making love, making money. All right. So that's all I really have to say about the new moon. I think it's key to note the shift in the alignment as it is cosmically, because many of us, by way of Virgo season and just by way of the, how life has been in general, have been more internal, more cultivating more of solitude or separatism in some regard from the masses, or as much as possible as we can afford to do so from the public or from family and friends and this and that. And now is the opportunity for the shifting to occur where we're coming out of our cave, so to speak, and starting to connect more with others. We're energetically incited to and encouraged to, even if it's not really your thing, more or less, you might actually find more success in connecting with others at this time, uniting your forces, bringing ideas together with others that you can trust. You've done the research on yourself to know, and you have the intel from past experience to know, discerning who you can trust and what's a good what's a productive partnership or not. And you also have your own intuition, which is an ongoing intel that never stops speaking ultimately. That's been enhanced over these last few months or so, especially by way of the Pluto retrograde that happened, where we did a lot of cleansing of our subconscious and our psyche, some of the muck and the grime that's ultimately been influencing our decisions in sometimes some unfavorable ways, or at least in some least productive ways for our ideal selves or our ideal experience and outcome. So with all that being said, it's like you have permission. It's safe to connect. It's safe to partner up. It's safe to consider the possibilities of relationship, whether it be professionally, personally, platonically, intimately. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to reach back for connections that may have already proven themselves to be expired or to not really be serving you in this capacity of your path in one way, shape, or form. And so it's not partnership for desperation, out of desperation. It's about pure partnership, relationships that are going to be righteous in some regard, that foster safe and secure conditions for you to be your whole and complete self, and that you can feel comfortable doing the same. Like you feel the reciprocation and value there to be yourself and for others to be themselves with you. That in itself promotes prosperity, because when you're in a safe and secure connection and energetic exchange, you are at your most optimum position to manifest, to attract more of the like and to bring things to life of divine creativity, or of the highest vibration of creativity as idealized by you. So it's safe to connect, it's safe to create one to another, one with another, as long as it's pure and healthy and sound and prosperous and productive and forwarding and every good vibration that you can literally think, be, do, and have, at this time. So yeah, have a ball with that. Have a good time. Now, let's get into this new moon reading. Also, I guess with the edge of the solar eclipse. I don't know how that's going to play into it, but we shall see if it does at all. As I said, I had already shuffled hours ago, and justice, which is also an aspect of Libra, justice, harmony, balance, fairness, equal give and take, partnerships, love, money, reciprocity, all of that good stuff is what's wrapped up into the Justice card. There ultimately could be some reconciliation or retribution, I should say, for past misfortune even, or some, when justice is on the table, it usually means that there's something that is either being overturned or undone or just reckoning for it in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It could just be the justice of all your hard work up until this point. You investing solely and completely in yourself, as I spoke about in the new moon message, in regards to really cultivating what is truly bringing you satisfaction at this time, and actually taking action to secure that. And maybe perhaps the results haven't always matched the rewards haven't always matched the sowing or the work that you've invested, but it's just been a matter of justice making its way around, as it always does. The universe is always just and balanced, even if it feels like it takes a little time. Justice is always served accordingly, so that everything that you have invested into yourself, invested into others, into the world, into your creation of life, great or small, as if there is a such thing, because it all matters, is ultimately going to be returned to you. I would say 100-fold, but given the elements as they are, especially with Jupiter in the mix, probably more than what you even harvested for, and definitely what you even sold for, and definitely more than you could have expected, because most of us have an expectation to receive back far less than what we're actually worth. And maybe perhaps that's even the balance that we're coming into play in the season, that recognizing that just as much as we have an expectation is the least of which we should the least of what we should require and return, okay? And that goes for people, places, and things, all right? So let's see what we got here today. All right, we got the Three of Pentacles. Let's see where this goes. Knight of Cups on the bottom. Page of Swords on the bottom. There's Judgment. I don't know, should I start it here? Let's get a good pyramid going. A legitimate pyramid today. So this Three of Pentacles is about collaborations, higher knowledge, higher learning perhaps. Judgment is a decision made on account of justice, perhaps regeneration, a second chance. Let's see. Not taking any of that. That Page of Swords, that Page of Swords was looking on account of, it was Judgment, right? All right, so we're just going to keep on going. I know these came out together, but we're going to keep on going. So there's some judgment and there's a celebration. Then we got the Four of Cups, and then another page. What's all these pages about? It was the Page of Swords. Wasn't there another page? Maybe I'm tripping, but I could have sworn the Three of Pentacles came with something, or maybe it was just the Page of Swords. All right, so that was the Page of Cups, along with that missed opportunity, maybe missing a message, perhaps. A love message that may have seemed small, or maybe somebody regarded it as small, but in actuality, it was like the love of a lifetime with this four of Cups here. Then we got the Four of Wands. I forgot to see what was on the bottom of the deck. I wasn't paying attention. Four of Wands, which is stability, a home, balance, security. I guess I could take that. We got the Two of Pentacles, juggling and or struggling. We'll see which one it actually is. And we got the King of Wands, who's a certified warrior, risk taker, ambitious, courageous, confident. But there's some, definitely not taking those. Here's the Page of Swords again, and then there's the Page of Wands. Okay, it's a lot of messages. Why are all these messages? And they're small, they're subtle with the page energy. And they're not coming out, they're just under the deck. So there's some judgment. Who's missing the message? Somebody's missing the message. It's like somebody's trying to perhaps reach out and touch someone in some regard. About a decision that was made that may perhaps cause a celebration. And then we got the Emperor here, where I stopped shuffling the page again. Page of Pentacles again. Okay. So we're talking about Page of Pentacles. Every page has come out so far. The Page of Cups, the Page of Swords multiple times, the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. There's information about money, about love, about an opportunity to expand, and some information, obviously, some clarity, or who's missing it though? Is it this Four of Cups person? And we got this house in the middle. This is like stability here, but on the sides, it's like this guy is struggling and juggling, and this guy is missing an opportunity. But in the middle, what persists, what is evident, I guess I should say, is this Four of Wands, stability, home, happy, healthy life, harmony, balance, establishment. It could be domestically, or it could be professionally, an establishment of some sort. So missing a job opportunity, which may actually, or maybe it's not a missing, but there's some information that's trying to get through that's not perhaps getting through. Yeah, and that was the Nine of Swords, which is like anxiety, worry, fear. It's like there's an opportunity here that's just sitting waiting for someone, but for some reason the information is not, and the Justice was in the beginning, right? That's the Justice, that maybe some legal matter, and with the Judgment, some legal decision or matter. This is all lately, this has been giving me courthouse vibes, even though it's like collaborations. But is that the energy holding it back? Or is this the energy like they're trying to strategize a way to get it's probably both with that card. Like some energies are wanting to hold it back and have someone missing an opportunity and missing out on some stability financially, so emotionally and financially at this point, that's going to make somebody happy. Yeah, it's trying to cause heartbreak. Someone want to strategize to withhold it, and some are trying to strategize to deliver it. It's like a tug of war here. The Justice must be that it reaches whomever it's supposed to reach, certainly. Yeah, look at this King of Swords. I'm not going to take it. It fell on the floor, but he definitely fell a little bit topsy-turvy. You couldn't see it, but yeah, trying to keep somebody stuck in this bound and burdened, blinded, mentally unstable position. What's this? The High Priestess. That's secrets. And the Moon card and the Ace of Swords. Page could be like a messenger, a carrier. Look at that, and it came back out. Illusions, confusion. Or this was the case because Justice led this spread. That was what was on the bottom. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let me get a few more and then we'll see how this gets to be. That's too many. Oh, they keep falling on the floor too. What is that about? When the information, there's the Page of Cups. I'm not going to take these, but the Page of Cups, the Magician, and the King of Swords, like she's looking forward to truth. Somebody's playing games in the background, withholding information. But that's more so like feelings, withholding feelings or manipulating energy. And then there was at the Moon card again, victory and success towards some great opportunity, a windfall of abundance in some way. Yes, somebody doesn't want, that was the Eight of Wands, it's going to be released. Justice is served. Everything must be balanced in this season. So there's no way to hold back information that's due to anyone at this time. Especially not, it's already defeated. Especially not without, and there's the Nine of Pentacles. Having found some connection to whatever this energy is, and then the Queen. Okay, well, all right then. Like I said, you can't withhold a divine seed. It's just not possible. So there's been some energy here with the Five of Swords that's been insistent on causing some blockage to someone literally going from being completely, I don't even know what you want to call this with the Eight of Swords. It's like keeping them from a new beginning, because that's the eight, right? Keeping them from entering some new beginning, whatever this judgment or justice is that would cause a celebration or be some type of windfall of abundance or windfall of prosperity, an opportunity to create prosperity in some regard, has been, well, keeping her for that to this place of independence where she's completely, literally standing in the way, trying to stand in between these two progressions here, where someone is kind of stuck, blind, bound, burdened in some regard, to someone that is literally carefree, emotionally, spiritually, and materially secure, and sound, stable, in her own regard. She's definitely single and independent, but ultimately in this energy, not needing for much. She's stable. Someone has a great vested interest in, because they know it's going to lead to this, which is like an exaltation of material wealth and gain. This is like going from being a single lady, doing well on her own, to the matriarch of a legacy. The Queen of Pentacles more or less is someone that's committed. She's ideally married. She has a counterpart in some way, shape, or form. She's the motherly energy, literally the nurturer, as I was talking about that ring of fire. Oh, so keep trying to keep someone from giving birth to their most supreme self, like I said in the moon message. The judgment's already been called. Justice there's something unjustified that's been happening here. Perhaps behind the scenes, under the surface, in some dark corridors of some justice system, or by way of manipulation from external forces against this progression or expansion of this feminine energy. And it could be, as I always say, this could be a personal and intimate expression, and it could be a national one or a global expression of trying to just hinder the feminine energy from finding her own safe and sound security and self that would put her in the highest vibration to be an attractive force for partnership with, say, perhaps the King of Wands, who's over here looking into the distance, clearly looking for something, but there's nothing over here, because as it stands with this stability here, this is the union of the two in some regard, not necessarily the King of Wands or the Queen of Pentacles and or the Queen of Pentacles, but the idea of there being a united force of like-minded vibrations that would be the cause for celebrations such as this. This is almost like a bridal shower. That's what the Three of Cups can give sometimes, where there's a celebration at hand for the coming together, the union of divine forces in a very balanced and harmonious way. There are energies and forces that have been working against that, working overtime. As a matter of fact, the Five of Swords is an energy that wants to win at all costs, to keep this person bound, this female energy bound, stuck, blocked, unable to see her future, feeling unequipped to move ahead, to sustain her own self. It really does require for there to be a stability of independence in order for one to really kind of like put themselves, like, this is a single lady who is okay being single. Like, she's not codependent on any other vibration. She's not sitting around waiting for a man to come save her or waiting to be provided for. She could be alone if she wanted to be alone, if that's what was designed for her to be so, or that's what her choosing is. But being in a position such as this is almost the best position to be in before you do get into some type of committed contract or collaborative contract or commitment or relationship or partnership, such as the Queen of Pentacles suggests, where you have already established an idea of your own self-worth and value, so that nothing outside really projects that measurement or deflects, God forbid, that measurement. You already know the value of yourself. And this can go for masculine or feminine. It's just happened to play out as it is. But knowing the value of what you bring to the table all on your own, not needing anything, but just truly desiring to be in partnership, having ideas and gifts and talents that are sufficient for your own stability and security, but also being open to the possibility that two are better than one, maybe perhaps 3 or 4 are better than one, as long as there's harmony and balance and synergy amongst them all. This is it is the difference actually between, as I was saying in the moon message, where we've almost been satisfied working in our own capacity. Like, you know what, I'll just do it myself. Even the King of Wands too, he can be pretty ambitious and focused in his own regard, and he definitely, as the king, has the capability to be in partnership, but he has his own agenda for sure, and he knows what he wants, and he likes to go get it uninhibited, and uninhibitedly, I guess. Both of them have that energy here. It's just expressing itself differently, but in the middle, the centric aspect of this so-called pyramid, perhaps the core of it all, is this willingness, and not just a willingness because nobody's arms are being twisted here. This is, well, I guess that is a willingness, but it's more than a willingness. It's like, this is joy in partnership. It's not we're together because we don't want to struggle, or we don't want to be alone, or we don't want to miss an opportunity in some regard. It's not opportunistic love, it's opulent is what is the word that I'm hearing. It's something rich and full and wealthy and stable, secure. It's creative. Like I said, it's harmonious. It's everything that you would want a Libra essence of a partnership to be, where everyone is taken care of here. Nobody is sacrificing more than the other. There's just equal balance between the two. They're both lifting their hands up. Although her hand, I don't know if it's a he or she, because this even can imply same-sex couples, just so you know. So you're not left out either, just so you know. But here you do have the one energy who has both of his hands lifted, and then you have the one in the red who does have one up and one down. But ideally, the implication is that both are satisfied equally. But if I had to just make a thought here, that perhaps someone is feeling even more satisfied in terms of what they've gained by way of this partnership than the other, not in a way that it causes imbalance or it's unfair, but somebody is really, really happy to be in this relationship. And that's not bad, as a feminine, or I say more as a feminine, I would say, than a masculine, because sometimes, I don't know, I guess either way it could be topsy-turvy. But as a feminine speaking, it's not necessarily a bad thing to consider the possibility that a masculine might feel a little bit more delighted or lucky, like a bit more, what's the word, like blessed, to have scored this relationship than perhaps you even feel to be in it, or to have, come together in some way. Because masculines, as in the King of Wands, they, often do appear to have a lot of options out in these streets. Definitely a hell of a lot of distractions just by way of society's projection of what a man should be and do and think and desire and all that good stuff. There's a lot. Like I said, he's off looking to the distance. She's in here tending to her own business, self-contained, but it's just the nature of a man to always be looking to conquer something. So with this regard here, the potential that, the way I'm seeing it right now, the potential that a masculine could possibly feel like, for all that his eyes have been set on and set upon, he really hit the jackpot on this one with the Four of Wands, with two hands up like, yes. That's some good stuff right there. That's some good loving. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. No foul, no harm whatsoever. And then to be with a feminine who just knows her value so clearly, so secure in what she has to offer, perhaps that could be the recipe for such a love as this, where it may seem a little bit off kilter, but is actually quite reciprocal, because I feel like that's the element of a woman that a man typically is most attracted to and most enamored by. Not the woman that is insecure, that feels like she needs 100 compliments a day, and she needs to be assured that you love her and that you're not cheating, and that you'll do anything for her and you're not going anywhere and you still think she's pretty, and all of those things. This is not that. This is a Queen of Pentacles who knows it, and even by way of the 9, like, she's not even worrying about a man here. A man might just happen upon her garden here and is like, who's that over there? And she's like, do, la, 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 la. Tended to her own garden, which is why that's the most ideal prime position for partnership. And then here, even once she gets into a so-called union, assuming that this is a matriarch, of some legacy, someone that's married or committed, as the Queen of Pentacles is, she still has her own identity. She's not completely overcome, or she knows how to be submissive for sure, and in the ways that the partnership calls for it to be so, to bring balance, to maintain balance. But that doesn't mean that she has to sacrifice her identity. She knows exactly that she brings a great deal of wealth to this relationship. If I could idealize the two as a partnership at all, the King of Wands is bringing the passion, the creativity, the protection, the covering. The Queen of Pentacles is bringing the grace. She's bringing the wealth, the stability, the fortified future, someone that knows how to attract wealth, but also knows how to maintain it. She's not just going out. She might like nice things, but she's not necessarily going out here spending the bag on spending the savings bag on frivolous things. She's adding value to the legacy here, bringing more stability and security to the foundation. That's a good place to be. That's a relationship that's ideal in this day and age, when two people, even if you have two different elements, because the Queen of Pentacles doesn't have to be with a a King of Pentacles, and the King of Wands doesn't have to be with a Queen of Wands. You know, there can be difference in the come from and in the elements, you know, in some great regard, and there still be harmony and balance between the two, because where one perhaps is lacking, the other one makes up for it, and vice versa. They meet each other in the middle. And it's not a burden to balance the scales. It's a pleasure, it's an honor to do so, and a joy, because Four of Wands definitely gives joy. So back on these messages though that are being missed, I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because whatever is being intentionalized to be objective, it's like when the spirit calls judgment and justice, nothing can really can obstruct that. Nothing can subdue it, you know, can block it. None of the case. I guess it only matters to just continue to be in a space of cultivation, so that you are keeping your force cleansed for whatever is trying to pierce through. So not to be worried about what everybody else is doing, what's going on in the world day to day in ways that brings your vibration down. This is not somebody that's worried about what's going on outside of her garden. She's not in fear or threatened by any impending danger. She's just taking care of business, minding the business that pays her, and, you know, staying grounded ultimately in the most practical way, as a matter of fact. So I guess that's the message here, is that it doesn't matter what hasn't pierced through yet. It's only a matter of time before it does. And in actuality, the best that you can continue to do is what you've been doing already. The best you can do is to continue to do what you've been doing, which is taking care of yourself, valuing yourself in the highest regard, continue to affirm your worth, and focusing on your expectations of what the match of that value. Whatever is supposed to be for you is most certainly going to make it through those gates. Strength card, bam. What else needs to be said? Keeping your ego and pride at bay, balanced. Once again, that's Leo energy. Keeping it balanced and, you know, still maintaining that spark, you know, that vitality that Leo affords and compels, knowing you're the star of the show, knowing you're the main character of your series, you know, being very intentional about cultivating your own creativity and expressing it unapologetically. Just keep doing that. You're not missing nothing here, and anything that thinks that they're causing you to miss anything or being I keep wanting to say a word when I'm talking about this blockage here. A distraction, or not obstruction, because I've said that already. It's something else that this energy is trying to do. What it's really trying to do is is to interfere by interference. That's what it is. Interfere by way of projection. Because this is like the lowest vibrational energy here between these two cards. So it's like trying to send mental projections to you that, no, you still stuck. You still in that same place. You ain't making no more money yet. You still at that job, and you ain't get that raise or that promotion. You still waiting on a partnership and ain't been dating for years. All these things that this energy is like speaking to somebody, because it's really mental, you know, it's in through the psyche, as a matter of fact, to try to project to you some defeated mindset that keeps you disconnected from the reality that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And that all is required is that you continue to do so. Be even more fierce and courageous and confident in your regards and in your ambitions than ever before, as a matter of fact. You know, not shrinking down into yourself, because this can also be a projection to put you in fear about partnership in every regard, bringing up old ideals or old experiences of when partnership didn't quite work out, when maybe you got rejected, or maybe you missed an opportunity to connect with someone that would have been desirable, missed out on love in some way, where you shared your ideas and maybe they were stolen, or they just didn't quite pan out materially the way that you had envisioned them. So perhaps you should probably just give it up already. These are mental projections that want to throw you off balance, to make you lose confidence in what you've been working so hard to cultivate at this time, which is the confidence of your own security and stability by way of trusting your spiritual prowess and staying away from the temptations of pride and ego to feel like you need to prove anything, overtly to anyone, because you don't. The results will speak for themselves if they aren't already. The value of you is what's been cultivated internally before it even begins to project itself in a material sense anyway. So the ways in which a force such as this that wants to be, making a negative impression, or even society on whole wants to project some ideal of success and stability and security, prosperity, or like you're not doing enough, you're not educated enough, you don't work hard enough, you don't have enough, your clothes aren't hot enough, your style is whack, your gifts are just your talents are just subpar, you don't have what it takes to be the best you, the highest vibration and value of you that you idealize. It comes through your perspective, your scope, and the supreme source that you submit to by way of this judgment card here that has already deemed you worthy and already has a harvest, literally the angels and celebration for the harvest that is being transferred unto you in spirit and in truth by way of the justice, surely for your dedication and devotion to yourself in the first place, amidst all of the projections and distractions that you've had to sustain. So don't worry about what the outside looking in may have to say. People, places, or things, even if you're not in the place that you ideally would want to live or be or work. If you're not living in the home of your dreams, if you're not driving the car that you've had on your vision board for years now, if your bank account is still a little up and down or non-existent, or just not, you don't have the fat savings that you would want to have to feel secure. And know that all of the effort and the work, even mentally so, energetically so, spiritually so, sometimes the work is so intangible, especially from the outside looking in, that people don't know how to measure what they think you're worthy of. So it's up to you to maintain that view, to maintain that perspective, to know like, no, I might not have been working like you, but trust me, I've been working. And it's not been an easy feat, the things that I've had to overcome just to keep peace of mind. How about that? Just to keep my head above water, to be in a position to believe that there's more than what I see around me at this time, to believe that I'm worthy here of a home, to believe that I am loving and deserving of love and affection and a reciprocal partnership that nurtures the best of who I am, that reflects the best of who I am. Somebody that thinks I'm just as much of a prize as I think they are. To know that I'm worthy to perhaps be my own boss. Queen of Pentacles here, start my own business, be an entrepreneur, to work in the capacity that I choose to and not in the way in which I feel I have to just to earn a living and feel so-called stable and secure. That my successes, great and small, are measured by me and me alone, by you and you alone, that no one outside of you can reflect what is valuable to you or of you for that matter. Okay, so whatever is coming to you, just keep having your ears pierced and your eyes open. Do your due diligence to make sure that all your channels are clear, even energetically, so to receive holistically. But it's already here because you're here. So therefore, it must, just as sure as this Queen of Pentacles is here, as sure as that coin is sitting in her lap and she's looking at it. It's already upon you because it's within you. All right. So have a wonderful, wonderful new moon in Libra. Take action on all of those plans that you've been feasting on. The last full moon cycle was a little bit of a pushback because it was full moon in Aries, which made us feel like we wanted to get up and do something grand and courageous and, you know, even impulsive at times, but the elements weren't really set up for that. Now you have all the support of the celestials to just start, whatever that is, just start somewhere, or to pick up where you left off and continue on in that regard. Whatever it is, even if it's just a new mindset, a new idea about yourself, new wardrobe, let's say, you know, a new experience that you want to have, you know, a new expression of life, a new expression of your gifts and talents. Whatever it may be, you have the permission to release it at this time, unapologetically so, and with all of the spiritual force and support at your beck and call. Truly, it is so, and so it is. All right, so have a wonderful transit here. Definitely still stay safe and be discerning, you know, even though it's safe to connect and you might feel really social right now by way of the elements, just still be discerning and mindful of who you connect with, who you partner your energy, your time with, mentally, physically, spiritually, professionally, platonically, intimately, all of the lees, okay? As long as it's purely, then it's all good. Anything that feels like a sacrifice to your divine spirit, your comfort, your satisfaction, your stability, your safety, any compromise to that, any imbalance, let's say, energetically, so that you feel on account of your connections and commitments, is just at least a pause for the cause to consider why you're feeling that way. Your feelings are not invalid. Consider why you're feeling that way, and if you need to make adjustments accordingly, or even if it's just adjusting your own mentality, because like I said, we've been in a solitude structure for a little while now. And so it might feel a little bit weird to get out there and start rubbing elbows in ways that you haven't before, or in more expansive ways than you have before, even if you haven't been all together in recluse or in solitude. Just being out there, you know, chit-chatting and fraternizing and what's the other word that I'm hearing? Socializing, which Libra is a very social sign, socializing. You know, tis the season for it all. Just do it in a way that you feel safe, sound, appreciated, and respected no matter where you go. And I think you'll find great value in those opportunities to partner up at this time. All right, so have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until next time, I'll leave you with peace.